Welcome back to M Hood Fishing. It is almost 11 p.m. I am on this bayou to look for bullheads. Don't know how good it's going to be because it rained for many hours previously, heavily too. So they were pumping. We're at a pumping station just to start the video because of the light. If you look down here, you'll see a lot of garbage. The idea here is to put them in my new bait cooler and then take them out several hours from now, free line them, look for big flatheads. Not sure if that video or this video is going to work out because there is a possibility of severe weather this morning, or in several hours. Yeah, that may happen, that may not happen. Let's push on and see what does happen. Bucket for water. There's my aerator. Whoa! This is what happens when you're trying to do everything one-handed. Maybe we should incorporate both hands. Here we go. Got two lights going on here. So I'm not down at the end here to fish because it's just too buggy. It's just an easy place to get what I need, get the water in the cooler. That might actually be a little too much. Just, yeah, a little better than half now. Let's go to the spot. We are using tackle that a subscriber sent to me. This whole container here of various things. I believe this is like a 1/0 or something smaller. We're going to put this on this crude dropper loop I just tied. This is 15-pound test, I think. It's either 15 or 12. We're going to use two rods, and I think maybe this is 15 and the other one is 12, or this one's 12 and the other one's 15. But that's what's up. I don't know what line we're using tonight. I just know that it's mono. I have many rods with different line on them, and sometimes I pull out a rod and I go, you know what? I don't remember what I put on this. So I know it's not 10. I know it's not 20. But what we're trying to do here is pinch this loop and get it through the eye, which is tedious when you can't see. So let's get the camera out of the way. Finally got it. Loop is through the eye. Now the hook is going through the loop that I made after pulling it through the eye, and that is a cow hitch. Kind of difficult to do these things at night when you're looking through the camera. It's like trying to look through a filter. Not too windy tonight, but we will go with this because this will give us the ability to stay stable close in and cast out farther and still stay stable with a tight line. We don't need a big weight, don't even need an ounce. That's probably a half. Bunch of random weights here that he sent. So we want to make sure that our lead line is not the same as the hook length, the dropper loop. We don't want it too long and we don't want it too short. And here we go. Looks good. Smaller hook this time. This is going to be similar but very different. It's going to be a straightforward drop shot. I'll show you when I'm done. And I'm done. Similar length from the hook. We want this just right up off the bottom. So we got two different rigs here because we're going to use two different baits. Night crawler for the drop shot and the dropper loop. Yeah, hot dogs. We are not going to get fancy. We're just going to cut a small piece. So we got a slice right there. Technically, we could even go smaller. We'll cube this one slice into 4s. And there we go. We could either put those on all together or one at a time. Some people do different things with hot dogs. These are bullheads that don't need a big bait. We have a bigger hook because we're going to do chunks of hot dog. There you go. I'll go ahead and turn this butt into 4 pieces, and now we have a bunch of little pieces we can put on the side. This is pretty straightforward. It's just night crawlers. We're not going to put on a whole night crawler, about half, to see what happens. Surprisingly, even though it rained heavily and I didn't expect much, there is a lot of activity. You can hear it if you focus. You'll hear a lot of splashing and stuff and see bait coming out of the water. It might just be gar that's active, hitting stuff like shiners. There are shiners here, and shad. Could be all kinds of things that are active right now. Night crawler first, just right down there. It's about maybe 12 feet away from the bank. Now for the hot dog. We're going to do something a little different. I'm going to look down first before we do this, make sure that there's not a bunch of choke. I don't see any hyacinth or anything. We're going to gently lob it up underneath the bridge, and I just remembered what's up with the line. This is the 15, and the other one is the 12. These are rods that I mostly use for sabiki. This one here I use in saltwater conditions, and that one over there primarily the river. Gotcha. All right. I've only been here maybe 5 minutes with the baits out. We got our first bullhead here. Not only do we have our first bullhead, but we have our first oopsie doopsie. There's no lead here, and he swallowed it. Lots of kinks in this line, but I think it's going to work nonetheless. There's the stone. I figured most of you know what's up. You put the line over the stone, push it on as much as you can, and then you feed this line through this hole over here. Get the stone down in there, and then, I don't know if you can see because I'm not pulling this out of the trailer. And there, we got it through the hole. We take our aerator and we want to put that hose right there. That is a return. This is our switch. It has low and high, and in the middle it's off. And right here, if you get one of these and you didn't read the instructions and you're curious what that is for your 12-volt charger. Well, I mean, it's not a charger, but this will run off 12 volt, and that's going to be a car jack. So I'll show you in the next video what we're doing with that to save battery. I hope this little guy makes it. Hope he doesn't bleed out, but it's good that we're keeping him for bait, because he might not make it if I just let him go. Good to go. I changed my mind. I will show you how we're going to use the car jack that comes with this product to save battery, to keep our bait alive overnight. Well, until I can go out with them. Been out here roughly an hour and a half. Got that one bullhead real quick. So far, I haven't had any other action. It is now 1 o'clock. Ooh, it is not looking good for this session. I might be forced to go out with one bullhead later on if it doesn't get rained out this morning. If it does get rained out this morning, we'll see about this later this afternoon. However, I will give this another hour, but that's about it because I do want to have this video edited and uploaded by 4 a.m. this morning. You hear that noise? That is a gar who thought he'd try hot dog tonight. There's a ton of these gar. I don't know if we're going to get this one, but he feels solidly hooked. But we might end up with the line getting popped. Maybe, maybe not. He's a good size one too for this line. Anyway, this is that 15-pound line. This is not an ultralight rod. Ah, there we go. The hook pulled. Oh, gotcha. Not what you were hoping for, let me tell you. Cichlid. Yes. Number 2 for the bullheads. Whoa. Where'd it go? First one for the hot dog too. Yeah, you're right. This is a good size one too. Let's see how this other one is doing. Seems like he's chilling in there. Whoa. I'm curious what just happened. Thought I was turning the camera off and it appears I'm turning it on. So did I not film that? But yeah, it is 2 o'clock now. And here's bullhead number 3. We had a double. We had a gar on the nightcrawler and this bullhead on the hot dog. This one's bleeding crazy. He did not swallow it, but yeah, hopefully he makes it. That's what we need to get out of this box. Right there. When I was riding home, for a second I forgot this was in the trailer. The e-bike motor makes a bit of noise, and over that noise and everything else, I kept thinking, I hear a diesel truck way back there behind me somewhere. I slowed down, looked back, and I thought, oh, that's right, it's this thing. So we're going to take the batteries out real quick. I want to see if this will work. If this will work, this will take a lot of headache out of running this constantly, because these are not cheap right now, and they never were, but they're definitely not cheap now. This is my Ace Volt. It's my bigger one. It is a power station. It's a big battery. It's fully charged. It's got 100% charge, and right now it says that I've got 99 hours. Let's plug this up. You can see I stuck that cigarette lighter right there into my 12-volt connector. Got a red light on it, meaning there's power. All right. Yay! I don't have to use my batteries to keep my bait alive when I'm at the house or anywhere, because I could take this anywhere. This is my heavier one. I have another one by Ace Volt that is much lighter, but this one it's got a lot going on. Look at that. It still says I got 99 hours worth of charge just running this, so that's cool. I hope my bait stays alive. Alright guys, tune in to the next video to see how these 3 bullhead fared. One of them was bleeding. The last one was bleeding a lot. So I hope he makes it. The other two, I hope they make it. I'm not worried about them like perishing because of the water being too hot or anything. The water's fine. It's well aerated. I'm just worried about the one that was bleeding profusely. So, thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you next time.